Welcome to the Learning Quest channel. I'm your host Salim Akhtar Malik. Learning Quest is an educational channel that offers tutorials on management and social sciences. These tutorials are designed to reinforce the understanding and knowledge of students on the courses taught to them in their respective universities and colleges. This is tutorial 6 on the principles of management. This is the last tutorial in the Principles of Management series, and in this tutorial I'll talk to you about the controlling function of management. Tutorial 6 covers the controlling process, types of control, and major guidelines for effective controlling. The controlling process includes measuring of performance, comparing performance with the standard and ascertaining the difference, if any, and correcting unfavorable deviation by means of remedial action. So there are 3 steps involved. What is measuring performance? Measurement is the determination of the quantity or capacity of a well-defined entity. Entity may be an individual, a thing, or an item. It requires a measuring unit and a count of how many times the entity is under consideration. Measurements may be in terms of tangible or intangible achievements. Tangible achievements are those that can be observed, detected, and felt by our 5 senses, which are sight, sound, smell, taste, and touch. Units produced, cards filled, and samples distributed are tangible achievements. On the other hand, there are many intangible results in an enterprise. Data on them cannot be measured through our 5 senses. Hence, there must be dependence on such means as judgment and indirect clues. The development of executives, morale of employees, effective communication, and efficient purchasing are a few examples of the important intangibles within an organization. Step 2 is comparing performance with the standard. This step is required for evaluating the performance. When there is a difference between the performance and the standard, judgment is frequently required to assess its significance. Relatively small deviations from the standard are approved for the performance of some activities. In other cases, such as in an automobile or aircraft manufacturing plant, a slight deviation may be serious. Managers performing the controlling work must analyze, evaluate, and judge the results to the best of their ability. Step 3 is correcting deviations. This step ensures that operations are adjusted and efforts are made to achieve the results initially planned. Whenever significant variances are uncovered, vigorous and immediate action is necessary. Effective control cannot tolerate needless delays, excuses, or excessive exceptions. We now come to the types of control. First, there is the preliminary control. This type of controlling focuses on applying check on activities in advance. This helps the manager in maintaining control without waiting for results and comparing them with goals to apply necessary remedial measures. Preliminary control exerted by applying policies and procedures. However, policies limit the scope within which decisions are to be made. On the other hand, procedures restrict the activities to specific actions in a prescribed sequence, thereby reducing flexibility and freedom of action. Third type of control is the concurrent control. It is the heart of any operating system and involves many activities going on simultaneously. For example, at an airport, the baggage crew must get the right bags to the correct airplanes at the right time. Concurrent control can ensure that the plan will be carried out at the specified time and under required conditions. The fourth type of control is the feedback control. Feedback control implies that some data have been gathered and analyzed and the results returned to someone or something in the process being controlled so that corrections may be made. It can be considered as a system made up of the following elements. So, one of the elements is the external forces. These forces include economic, social, technological, and governmental forces that affect the goals to be set or require modification. The next element is the goal setter or manager. Goal setter or manager defines goals and what is expected. Then there is the information processor. Is either a person with the needed information to control or a computer with proper information. Then there is control sensor, also a person or a computer. It receives information from information processor and carries out control process. This is done by comparing expectancies of the goal setter with what has been achieved by the fundamental management functions. The controlling process does not cover an operation in total. It is applied at the critical points where change occurs or where there is a likelihood of deviation from prescribed standards. Therefore, location of the critical points should be determined carefully with special attention given to avoid strains among organizational relationships. Controlling must be practical and it must fulfill a known and stated objective. Also, controls must be enforceable. Controlling is based on some standard which is the basis for evaluation. The standard should use some form of measurement, quantitative if possible. Controlling diminishes in effectiveness as standards become inexact. The consensus of most managers is that multiple controls should be used as use of one type only is usually inadequate. Controlling should be subjected to controlling. It should be continuously improved to make and keep it effective and economically sound. In the series on principles of management, we have covered Tutorial 1, an introduction to management sciences, Tutorial 2, schools of management, Tutorial 3, planning, Tutorial 4, organizing, Tutorial 5, actuating, Tutorial 6, controlling. This brings us to the end of the series on principles of management. See you in the next tutorial. Till then, bye bye.